Powering up essential systems. Booting root C/audio logs. Reviewing previous data cells. Repairing audio files.
The building. Well, Rex is carrying all three of his guns on him then.
I don't know what passes for a waiting room magazine, but...
Man, there is no resistance. Like, if there was a crowd at any point, they part the Red Sea for you.
I wouldn't say waiting so much as lounging as more appropriate.
Despite the fall of civilization, I feel like the spirit of the Second Amendment is alive and well here in Eden.
Just like a gun-toting hobo.
You see a little name plaque, and that name plaque reads Kathryn Slater.
He looks up at the clock that's in the room, the analog clock. His hands stop. I am so sorry, but in my defense, I don't know who designed analog clocks. They don't make any sense. They're bad. The people over there.
Your job is simply to go in and help these people out.
Why are we freeing them?
It was the Crimson Cobras.
The most fearsome of all the cobras.
So, which one of you once left Rex bleeding and did nothing for him?
I feel like Greggor is more of a social chameleon.
I want you to learn things about this world, and by learn, I mean tell me what's true. So all of you have just left Kathryn's office. You've exited the building, and you are now on the stairs. You see the broad, overview of Eden. What do each of you do to prepare for this upcoming assignment?
What time of day is it?
It's early afternoon. Think 1 o'clock.
It's too early to go to the bar.
Bravo goes to the shop where he works, and he wants to first of all get his gear ready that he's going to need, but also explain to the people that he works with that he's going to be gone. Okay,
so you have a couple of crew members at your workshop?
Yeah, I don't own the workshop. It's just some place that it's a place that where I've found a way to be useful. Bravo doesn't have any he's not particularly skilled, but it's been easier for him to learn how to work with machinery than it has been for him to learn the subtlety of human interaction, and he doesn't have to do much customer service here.
Okay. Who are these people that you work with?
The owner of the shop, his name is Dirf. He's been a long-standing kind of a pinnacle of Eden society. He's an early member here, and so that's what's made this shop so recognizable. People come here, they trust Dirf, and that's why he can afford to employ a couple other people. And Dirf has kind of become a mentor figure for Bravo, but Dirf is he's respected. But he's a strange guy, but everybody knows him. Nobody's unsettled by Dirf. That's just Dirf, you know?
Classic Dirf.
Maybe, yeah. He's missing 2 fingers on his left hand, and he has he's missing one eye, and he has a fake eyeball, but it doesn't look particularly realistic, and it has a little flashlight built in that he can turn on if he needs some extra light while he's working on something. And he also he talks like a pirate because I don't have to voice him. Bravo walks into the shop, and I'm assuming Dirf is there because he's almost always there.
Yep, that's accurate. You find him, he's hunched over something. He's got He's got a pair of welding goggles on, and he's currently working on fixing a hole in the body of what looks like some sort of vehicle.
Okay.
He has a welding monocle on.
I see. He hears you. He hears you enter, and he looks up and turns around. And they're welding goggles, but one of the lenses has been removed for the eyeball with the flashlight, so he can still
Nice.
have full functionality of the extra light, I guess.
Just in case you need extra light while you're welding. It happens.
Absolutely, because sparks that'll make you go blind aren't bright enough.
Yeah. Dirf, Bravo walks up and like, is Dirf like working on the underside of the vehicle?
No, he's working on a side panel. So he was squatting
Okay.
down, looking at it. So he stands up to his full height
Okay.
and turns around to you.
Dirf, I'm sorry to give you short notice on this. The meeting with the mayor, it didn't turn out to be about some sort of maintenance job she needed.
Well, of course it's not. It never is that way, is it?
No,
She always needs another something being done.
yeah, I guess I'm going out into the wilds again. So, I'm sorry I won't be able to come in tomorrow. Or maybe ever.
And he just kind of stands there looking at you, a little dumbfounded.
Dirf, this has been a good place to work. Thank you. Thank you for understanding, I guess, for understanding what I am, who I am.
And you say that, and he comes back to his senses, and he goes, "Bravo, you've been a good worker, and it'll be a shame to see you go. But you're not going. You're coming back, and that's an order."
Yes, Captain, sir. I will be taking my van, and I was wondering if I could, if this is an order to come back, if I could grab a few things, from the shop that I'll bring back later.
Now, Bravo, I love you like a son. You can't just take things out of the workshop. I use them.
Yeah, okay. I'll show you anything that I need before I take it, so that there's extra of it. I'm not gonna take the only just set of calipers and maybe a wrench, stuff like that.
This sounds like you're trying to manipulate Dirf into letting you borrow his tools.
Yeah. That's an official move, right? That's something I need to roll for?
It is indeed.
Okay. Yeah, Bravo's lived here and worked here long enough that he has made enough money that he's been able to get his van, but I don't know if he has an advanced workspace or if he has everything all ready to go. He works in a shop. There wouldn't need, up until this moment, he wouldn't need to have his own mobile workshop ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You describe it as a shop. Is it like a machinist's shop or like an auto body shop?
It's a bit of both. It probably started out as one and grew into the other as well because Dirf is a respected part of society.
Okay, yeah. So we'd see things like a drill press or other bits and bobs that he's managed to scavenge from places that he's taken he's gone, but we also see an engine lift mounted to the ceiling.
Yeah, I just wanted to share the screen to show I did indeed roll 2 6s there.
Okay, cool. So when you try to seduce, manipulate, bluff, fast talk, or lie to someone, tell them what you want to do, give them a reason, and roll plus hot.
Okay. For the reason, actually, I've already said to him that I'll bring it back. And I'm not going to take anything that you're going to need while I'm gone. But I'm actually going to give an extra reason while I'm going for it. Dirf, this mission is really important to the mayor, and I think important to the future of this community. I think you can share a few extra tools. And my hot is +1. So that'll be a 13.
Okay. So with that, Dirf kind of... he slumps his shoulders and he sighs a little bit and goes, "It's a good thing I like you, kid. Go ahead. Take what you need.
Good.
Just make sure to bring it
Good.
back. And yourself, too."
Yes, Captain. Yes, sir. Okay, then Bravo goes around like a kid in a candy store, grabbing all the tools that he wants to have in his van so that he can have a little bit of a mobile workshop. Things break out there in this, in this world, and he figures like the mayor didn't give official team roles, but he just assumes that he's there because all of the things on a team that has Rex on it will break, and if we want this team to last more than a few days, somebody has to be there to put things back together. So he's grabbing everything to put into his van that he needs to have a mobile workshop.
See, this is why Rex likes/dislikes you from a respect and disrespect point of view. Because, man, that kind of bad-mouthing and assumption he doesn't like that. But at the same time, you're totally right.
I mean, yeah, I feel like Rex and Bravo have this kind of mutual respect, but also like degree of like frustration. I don't know. We're frenemies.
Awesome.
And I mark experience because hot is a highlighted stat, right?
Yes, you do. Once you mark your 5th bubble, you take an advancement and reset the thingamajiggers.
Good.
So where do you go, Bravo, after you've collected all the stuff and loaded it into the van? Like where do you stay?
I stay in my van.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a sleeping bag, so I that's where I live, and I go and I do my normal evening routine. I sit down and I grab out a book that is suited to my reading level and work on my reading. Today's feature is Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. So I sit there and try to sound out the words and go through the book. That's just how Bravo ends his day.
You probably don't know that eggs aren't supposed to be green.
I figure it must be some sort of genetically engineered chicken. Like,
And what, you haven't seen the green pig farms just a few miles north of Eden?
I figure as I read that... is there a name for the other character besides Sam I Am? What's his name? The viewpoint character, the main character of Green Eggs and Ham, I figure he doesn't want to eat the green eggs and ham because they're some sort of like... They're clearly like genetically engineered food, and he's suspicious. He doesn't know if by eating them it will they're built, there's like drugs in there to manipulate his mind. He doesn't know if this is some technique by Sam I Am to gain control over him. But as he goes through these different situations and becomes more and more desperate and more hungry, at the end he's so miserable that the idea of the fear of being controlled by Sam I Am is blocked out by the hunger and the uncertainty, and so he gives in, and the ending it's kind of an unsettling ending, as it's left mysterious, as he likes it, but you don't know if he likes it because Sam I Am really is a good person and just wants to give him some delicious green eggs and ham, or if this is Sam I Am's victory over the autonomy of the main character, and he is now under Sam I Am's control.
Not to mention that the other character actually isn't mentioned by name, which means he is a suitable substitute and fit in for everyone.
Oh yeah, he represents us all in this crazy torn up world.
I love it.
I didn't expect that to go that way.
Oh, it's wonderful. I love it. Are books something that are common in Eden?
No.
What did it cost you to get your hands on this?
A lot of money, actually. Bravo spends anything beyond like living. Like he's fine living in a van and sleeping with a sleeping bag. He doesn't have a bed. All of his spending money goes towards learning. And so he even has like a broken DVD player in his van that has been trying to fix, even though he doesn't have any DVDs. But like the idea that possibly, like, because he knows about movies, and the idea that he could possibly at some point have some movies is exciting for him. So that's like a side project for him.
Awesome.
But he just has a couple of books. It's not like he has a large library. He has like one of the billion books that have been written into the series of Magic Tree House. But it's a little hard for him. Like it's a bit beyond it. It's like Magic Tree House number like 567, because there are that many books in that series by now, I'm sure. Not by the future. I mean, by now, 2021, I'm sure there are like that many books in that series.
Alrighty. Cool. I like it.
It's called Arachnids After Midnight, and it has like a giant spider on the front of it.
Arachnids in the Afternoon. It's like you don't even know the naming conventions of the
Arachnids
books.
in the Afternoon, yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's his library. He has 2 books. He barters and trades to try to get new ones when he levels up, but he didn't realize how hard Arachnids in the Afternoon would be for him.
Awesome. We know what Bravo has been up to for this day. Greggor, what do you do after the meeting?
I think that after the meeting ends and Greggor comes out on the steps, he watches his companions walk down into the town, and I think that he heads back inside, and he bypasses the mayor's office and heads up to an upper floor where this is kind of the bureaucratic heart. You mentioned that the person sitting at the receptionist desk was sitting there reading a pamphlet, and if the receptionist is shirking responsibility, then it's nice to see that bureaucracy is alive and well in Eden, that it survived the apocalypse. But I think what I'm picturing is this isn't the face that interacts with the people of Eden. This is where some of the work actually gets done, where the paper's pushed a little bit, and there's an array of desks with people working at it. A big long desk in the back with a senior member of staff sitting at it. And he walks up, and sitting behind this desk, there's an older lady. Her hair's gray. She has a very sour look on her face. And it gets even a little bit more sour when she sees Greggor. And he walks in and he says, "Oh, Marlene, my darling, how are you today?"
Marlene continues that sour look, and she goes, "Well, oh wait, do I want her to be Roz or not?"
That's actually what I was picturing when I was coming up with this scene. So.
Well, I was drowning under paperwork before you came, but now I guess it's gonna get a lot worse, ain't it?
Au contraire, my dear. Actually, I'm headed out of town here. Just got big, important news from the mayor. Dangling this tidbit a little bit, hoping that she bites.
Oh, yay. Special assignment from the mayor, because that's going to go great for us in the back staff.
It's very fascinating, and I'm sure that there's all kinds of interesting opportunities. I lean forward onto her table a little bit, and I just jingle my pocket a little bit, just the clink of snipped pieces of penny. Marlene, I would be pleased to, leaning in a little bit, watching his how loud he's speaking, I'd be pleased to continue our arrangement. But things will be a little bit more complicated, and, obviously not being in town, your services, I'll still need them when I'm here, but the payments can't continue at the same regularity. Can we come to an arrangement?
And so Marlene, her eyes narrow even farther, it's a surprise that they can keep narrowing. What is the arrangement that you have with Marlene?
I think that Greggor just likes to be plugged in. He likes to know what's coming because he understands that change means opportunity. And so it's not that Marlene is dirty per se. It's just that she shares information we heard that there's a big caravan of traders coming in, or oh, there's some bad news down in the south end of town. There's been some thefts and things like that. I think that Greggor just likes to be kept in the loop.
Okay. So Marlene, her eyes have narrowed. She looks at you and says, "Well, if you want me to hold your mail, I'm gonna need to require the same number of stamps I always have."
Well, that we should be able to come to an arrangement. The mayor said that a little bit of jingle was be coming our way as part of this arrangement. So, as long as we're on the same page, you hold my mail, and I'll make sure that you get your stamps. How about that?
Would you like to manipulate Marlene?
I would like to, just to make sure that the point isn't, I'm not trying to get anything out of her at this point. So I don't know if manipulation is correct. I just want to make sure more that she's not going to find a new buyer while I'm gone. That I'm still going to be your guy. So I don't know what role exactly you would like me to make.
I think manipulate is the right one for that. Part of this is just to get us used to rolling moves and doing stuff. Okay. Manipulate. Tell them what you want them to do. Give them a reason. You want them to be loyal to you as you want them to be loyal to you as the client, and the reason is I'll pay you when I get back.
Yep. Okay. That is a 7 plus. Need to open all my tabs.
Plus hot.
Plus hot. So that is an 8.
They'll go along with you, but they need some concrete assurance or evidence first. Okay, so Marlene, she says, "I think we can work something out. I'll just need a little bit of money. I need a little bit of jingle in advance just to make sure that I don't forget this arrangement that we've made."
So Greggor reaches into his pocket, pulls out a handful of chipped bits of penny, and slides it across the table toward Marlene.
And so Marlene, she takes a folder that she's been working on, and she carefully places it over the jingle, and then slides it back to her, trying to be surreptitious. And she says, "I believe that this will work out."
I go to try to kiss her hand.
She pulls it away. It's like, "Okay, don't make me file something with HR. That's just more paperwork I don't want to do."
I say, "All right, my dear, whatever you desire," and I stroll my way out of the building.
Nice, I like it. So as you leave the building, you're presented again with the wonderful view of Eden. What kind of weather does Eden normally experience? Like on an average day, what would you find?
You said this is in the Northeast, correct? I think that Eden has a nice microclimate, but I think that kind of off to the north, you can see where the evergreen trees stop being green and they slowly fade to brown, and further out you can see they're just skeletal. It's just branches. There's no foliage. But yeah, generally it's cool, but it's not cold.
Cool and crisp, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Apart from that interaction, I think Greggor has his bug-out bag is packed wherever it is he stays, so there's not much he has to do in order to get ready for tomorrow.
Okay. Do you have any other friends or contacts in the city that you want that you would see or that you would check up on before you leave for an undetermined amount of time?
There's contacts that he has, cool. Informants, things like that, and he just stops briefly to put the word out that he'll be out in the wilds for a bit, but he should be back before too long. So,
and where does Greggor stay?
Someplace cheap, maybe like a spare room above the bar.
Okay, cool. So you have a spare room above Brace's bar. Brace is the name of the owner.
Yeah, just nothing fancy.
Already.
Not very much in the way of possessions.
I like it. And so really, that leaves us with our gun-toting friend Rex.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it's just a little too early to head to the bar just yet. So what he's going to do is Rex is going to head back to his apartment. It's relatively nearby in the center of town. It's not a very big place. It's pretty small, but it's solid. It's not. He doesn't slum it up. He just doesn't need much room, despite the fact that he's a really big guy. He's just been living by himself these days. And he goes back and, in his cramped little place, he is mostly just going to make sure he's got the ammo he needs and that his guns are all working properly. And once he's done that for a few hours, that's, it's a Friday night. It's about 5 o'clock. And just like any other day at 5 o'clock, he heads out to his favorite bar, the Rusty Shotgun. If there's any sort of criminal side in Eden, it does not show itself. I'm sure Eden tries to maintain an image of being, relatively calm and peaceful, and that there's not too many places that are unsavory. But if there were, the closest would probably be the Rusty Shotgun.
Okay. What kind of measures has Eden taken to be this safe haven that it claims to be?
Because one of the draws of Eden is that it claims to actually be free, so it couldn't be like overly strict martial law. Maybe there's a lot of it's a big focus on peer juries or something, but like strict enforcement, but everybody gets a trial or something.
I think you're right. I think there's not much in the way of laws per se, but there's a lot in the way of justice.
Okay, and who carries out this justice?
I feel like people in this world aren't that clued in with political philosophy, and if Slater has kind of unlimited power but doesn't throw it around carelessly, I don't think people will feel oppressed. So maybe she just has authority to, she has deputies that work with her that don't have clear limits on their power, but she's careful to maintain there's a good level of people don't feel like they're being pushed down, and there's a lot of there's not a clear law, but the society's democratic enough that people don't get too upset about the rulings that get made. I don't know. Does that sound good?
She works to make sure that she doesn't become a dictator.
I like it. Okay, so Rex, yeah, you've checked your ammo, still there. You're ready to rock and roll. So you stroll on down to the Rusty Shotgun. Who's your favorite regular? Who's your favorite drinking buddy at the Rusty Shotgun?
I've actually got two that I meet there most days. We're there fairly often. There's Cerulean Stentor. She's a battle babe. She wears a lot of blue armor, and she's really cynical and sarcastic, and she's got a mean bite to her.
Like her personality has a mean bite, or she bites people. I guess
her personality, but any of her brass knuckles that she might have a similar impact to a bite. They've got spikes on them. And then my other drinking buddy is Jack Dawson. He's got a huge black trench coat, and he wears a fedora and really dark sunglasses, so he's just shrouded in secrecy. He always just seems to have a dozen little derringers or pistols underneath his trench coat at all times.
Alrighty. So it seems to me like the Rusty Shotgun is kind of the place where all of the hired guns, the slightly unsavory elements, or those who are just passing through from the outside, tend to congregate.
Exactly. There's a few slightly questionable characters, not too many to make it too unsafe, but filled with smoke and cheap drinks, and it's just a great place for someone like Rex to be at. Okay,
cool. So when you go in, you're greeted by Cerulean and Jack. Cerulean waves you over from the bar. Jack is eyeing a cigarette. He tends to do this. He's got one or two of them, and he loves to flash them around, but they're too valuable to smoke. And so he likes to sit there and hold it. Sometimes he chews on the butt a little bit, but to your knowledge, you've never seen him actually smoke one of these things.
He just sucks on it. Gross.
They're actually candy cigarettes.
But yeah, so they wave you over to the bar. I presume you head over and join them.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So Cerulean, she looks at you and says with her drink in her hand, so what's the news for today? What's going on with our friend Kilgore?
Not too much going on, sir. I got a new job that I got to deal with, or something called Eden Initiative. It's I don't know. Me as a Slater has got me on some sort of new task force where we're going out and trying to take care of some of the other settlements out there. You didn't give too many details, but it sounds like I've got a bit of a free reign, as it were.
And so Cerulean, she kind of gives you one of those faces where it's the approving nod, and but Jack kind of he's sits over there, his brooding mood is, don't you just love it when the person in charge of you changes the contract?
Hey, at least the pay didn't go down. It's I finished the other jobs. She's just got new work for me, and some of the other folks that I've been working with. So can't complain too much.
No, you really can't, as long as they're still paying you.
Yeah.
So what do you do at this bar, Rex?
I'm gonna order myself a drink first.
Alrighty, so you get yourself a drink. Do you keep drinking? Is this like a knock one back and get plastered before you don't have access to alcohol, or is this a standard routine?
Nah, this is a standard. Rex has got a job he's got to start doing tomorrow, so he can't really afford to have more than one or two. This is just kind of a wind down and get ready for tomorrow sort of day. What is Rex hasn't been here too long, so Cerulean and Jack aren't like close friends, but they've been meeting up fairly often and been getting together, so he's just gonna kind of let him know, like, with this new job, I'm gonna be heading out for some time, not too long. Might be back in a week or two. So don't keep up. Cerulean, you can pay me back sometime later. Got what, 3 drinks that you owe me for?
I think you're miscounting a little bit, and she's starting, like, her speech is getting slurred. It's getting harder to understand her as the night goes on. She's I think it's closer to 2, probably.
I think you're misremembering. I'm pretty sure it was 3.
We'll agree to disagree.
Fight. Sorry, I'm not in this scene.
Let's see.
There's only one way to settle it: arm wrestling competition.
Oh.
What do you do, Rex?
Rex is gonna shake his head. Cerulean's just under it right now. She'll come around when she's a little bit more sober.
Alrighty, so you packing it out back to your apartment to sleep a bit before heading out?
He's gonna take a look around just to see if there's anyone interesting at the moment. There's this one guy that he's been trying to keep his eye on. His name is Balph, and he's been kind of annoying. He's been really bugging them a bit lately. So he's mostly trying to keep an eye out to see if any interesting characters like Balph are showing up. There's always just that one guy.
Yeah, absolutely. So about I don't know, I'd say 45 minutes into your stay at the bar, Cerulean is several drinks in, slightly slurred. Jack's kind of in the same place as you are, one drink in, and loosened up a little bit. He's not leaning quite so hard into his gritty persona. And that's the time when Balph and a couple of his buddies come strolling into the bar. You can tell they're coming long before they ever walk in the door. Balph and his crew
they're loud
by definition. I say you hear them from a mix of the shouting and the laughter and the clash of metal as they knock bins over on the way. And they come busting in the door, and they all we whip pan over to them Just as like several heads snap in, because the doors get thrown open pretty forcefully, and we see all of them. They come in, and they're all unified. They're acting together. They're what is the I'm gonna ask this of Rex. How does Balph and his gang, how do they mark themselves?
It's got to be their kind of wild hairstyles. They're trying to look like they're a bunch of punk vandals. Almost like something taken out of hairstyles from a cyberpunk novel or something.
Cool. Yeah. So we see Balph and his crew. They walk in. They've either engineered or found some sort of hairstyling gel, because not all of their hair is at least 10 inches long, but going in every which way possible. Like the shortest guy is like maybe 5 foot. He's well below average, but with his hair puts him on par with most people. They swagger into the bar, hair sticking every which way. You can hear their skinny jeans creaking as they move in them. Balph comes and sets his hands down the bar very forcefully and says to the barkeep, he goes, "Hey, yo, we need some drinks here for me and my friends." The barkeep just kind of rolls their eyes and sets about their task.
Rex is gonna grumble audibly a bit.
Okay, Balph hears this and looks over, and he sees you, and just goes, yo guys, I forgot we need to be respectful of our friend here. We gotta be respectful for him. And he's walking over to you, and he's like, "I must say you are a good friend." And he takes your drink, says, "Thanks for this." He turns around to leave.
No. Rex is gonna no. Absolutely not. Rex is gonna grab the back of his shirt as he turns to walk away. Sorry, I do have one line to say as he does this. In the most Rex way you can imagine, he goes, "That's my drink."
Okay, so here's what you can do. You're gonna have to act under fire, and the fire is that his friends are gonna beat you to the punch. So act under fire. You would roll cool, but I think you roll hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna check battle hardened here and roll hard. Sorry, one landed on the corner. 10.
10. Okay.
Plus
cool. So yeah,
3.
So you're able to 10 plus 3. Good heavens. I get you are one hard person. Okay, so Balph comes over and he takes your drink, and he turns around, and you say, "That's my drink," and you just rock it up from your seat, and in your hands you're holding Balph by the scruff of his neck, and Balph is flustered for a second. You see the flash of oh crap, I shouldn't have messed with someone who's a foot taller than me. But then it quickly changes to rage as he throws your drink back in your face.
There's a bottle on the counter. I'm gonna grab it and hit him with it.
Okay, cool. This is fun. First fight. We're gonna start using harm and moves. This is gonna be fun. Maybe. Okay, cool. So, what are you trying to do? I
am trying to intimidate them. These guys are annoying. I have had to deal with them many times before, but this is... I'm just exploding with rage at this point. You've taken Rex's drink. You've been bothering him long enough. You guys need to back off.
Okay, cool. To me, this seems like a seize by force. You're trying to seize control of the situation. Cool, yes. You're going to roll plus hard.
Got it. 6 plus 3.
6 plus 3. Okay, so that's a 9?
Yes.
Okay, on a 7 to 9, choose 2. You inflict terrible harm, plus 1 harm. You suffer little harm, minus 1 harm. You take definite and undeniable control, or you impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy. So you get to pick 2 of those.
I choose the latter 2. I kind of miss the bottle a little bit on him as he's wiggling around, so I don't do serious damage.
Do you want to... Yeah, tell us how it goes.
All right, well, as I grab the bottle and hit him with it, he kind of swings his head out of the way so I don't get a direct hit. Mostly connects with his shoulder, and presumably he cries out in pain, and I kind of throw him onto the ground a bit, but don't make any follow-ups. And just kind of, as that happens, he might have to scramble up, but I'm staring down the rest of them, and they mostly are making sure that Balph is okay.
Yeah, so Balph is on the ground. He's backpedaling away from you a little bit, and the gang is standing there. They are suitably terrified of this one dude who they've now just seen single-handedly pick up their ringleader and throw around like a rag doll.
You boys are gonna want to find a different bar to go to from then on.
Balph stands up and he puffs his coat that he's wearing and tries to gain some semblance of control back over as these guys is just, yo, this place ain't rad anymore, let's leave. And so they make their probably faster than normal way out of the bar. The barkeep comes back over to you as I presume you sit back down at your stool, that maybe like pick up your stool and write it. Yeah. Barkeep comes over to you and goes, while I agree with what you've done, I must ask that you don't do it again by
sorry about that.
Professional courtesy.
Rex notices all the drinks that the bartender has brought for the gang that is now departed. Goes, he turns to Cerulean and Jack. He goes, I think we gotta cover this. Here's the one last hurrah for the next couple weeks, right? Jack
nods and agrees. He grabs one of the glasses and tips it, and Cerulean is just very, very, very excited for more alcohol. Absolutely is loving it. As you're finished with the bar, you know you've had your one or two drinks, and you'll be okay enough for tomorrow. You trust that Jack will get Cerulean back to wherever the heck she sleeps, and on your way out of the bar, you take one glance at a wall of names. You know, this bar is it's known for being the place of the rough and tumble, and this is their one nod to those who never made it back. With that, I think the scene closes. Alrighty, so it's the next morning. Everyone has prepared for their trip ahead. They've gathered the supplies they need. And you said you were meeting at the West Gate. Y'all go there. Bravo's got his van there.
Bravo got there very early. He made sure that to get there before Rex, and then when Rex strolls up, even if Rex is still early, Bravo just looks at him and like looks down at his wrist and looks back at him and is just like,
Is there a watch on that wrist?
No.
Nice to see you up and early for once.
Rex. Yeah, you broken anything of yours lately?
Broke another man's spirit. That's not mine.
Oh, I cannot fix that.
Sad.
Hey, you are you ready for this? I mean, I know you've done a lot of jobs, but it sounds like we're going into a situation where we don't know anything. I mean, have you brought down I've never brought down a society.
Hey, I haven't either, but it's as they say, it's a learning opportunity.
All right.
Alrighty, cool. But yeah, so what happens is eventually all three of you are gathered at the gate, and the only thing that you're waiting on is the map from Terry. And so a little bit of time passes, and eventually you hear this. You hear a motor coming from around the corner. It's running, not well, but it's running. You see this beat the heck up Toyota Corolla just roll around the corner, and it putters its way, and it stops near you, and Terry throws it in park, jumps out of the car, and immediately runs and puts blocks under all four wheels so it doesn't go anywhere. And he stands back up and he goes, well, if you'd like, this is your ride.
Shotgun.
Bravo, especially since you're a mechanic. What the heck do you do?
I go over. I go to Terry. I say, may I? And pointing at the hood. I want to take a look at it.
Terry nods. He knows this isn't his wheelhouse.
Oh, it's his wheel car.
I pop the hood, and I just want to determine if this thing is even worth taking. Like, if it's going to be worth it to have an extra ride, or if this thing is going to even make the like it's a 2-day walking journey, so it's going to be like a few hours drive. Like, is it even? I mean, it that shouldn't be too bad. If this thing is going to run somewhat reliably, it'll be worth it. But other than that, like if it's gonna fall to pieces as soon as we get outside the boundaries of the town, then it's not. So, let's see. What skill is this? I don't have a character ability that does this because I didn't choose things speech.
So this would probably be read a sitch.
So it's 9 plus 1, so 10.
Okay, on a 10 plus, ask 3 questions.
Okay, well, I'm going to say, what? looking under the hood of this vehicle, which enemy is the biggest threat?
Okay, so you do a little bit of poking around, in the engine. You check things out. You have a vehicle and it runs. Your biggest threat here is that all of the fluids in the car, most of their containers are like their reservoirs are either missing or so coated in grime and dirt that you can't see what's even in there.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, I have 2 more questions, but most of these don't really apply very well. So I feel like I know enough. I'm just gonna look up and say, what if the car doesn't come back? Is it, do we need to cover the cost, or is this car for the mission? Are we borrowing this, or is it ours?
And he grits his teeth a little bit because he's the person over transport. This car is his baby a little bit. He goes, you're borrowing it from Eden, but technically you have carte blanche to do whatever you need to. I personally would like to have it back at some point. It'll be
all right. If it breaks down, I'll push it back.
Thank you.
I like motion the other 2 over. I'm like kind of like a team huddle, I lean in and I whisper like, we might be able to, like, if we need to like break down a wall or use it as a projectile, it could be useful. I mean, if there's like a hill that we can roll it down. What do you guys think? Are we taking this? Are we taking this piece of crap? It might not make it far past the gates, but I mean, what's the worst that could happen? We destroy it.
I say we take it.
Well, I think that I'll just side with you, Bravo. You know these things better than we do, and it might come easy. It might be nice to have a bit of collateral, should need be.
All right. Well, I'm driving the vehicle that I own that also doesn't seem like it, could mysteriously explode. Greggor, you wanna drive this hunk of junk? Point to the Corolla.
I might ride along so I can do some research as we go. I'll go with you.
All right, Rex, you got the Corolla?
I already call a shotgun.
It's not gonna drive itself.
Cool, you can drive.
I'm driving my van.
Oh, I didn't realize you were taking your van along.
This is metagaming a bit, but the Battle Babe has moves where I can like jump from car to car in vehicular combat. So maybe I'll leap out of the Corolla as we drive, but
okay. So here all right, here's an idea. Okay. Rex, you can ride shotgun in the Corolla and we'll just hitch it to the back of the van.
That's dumb. I'll just drive.
I want to walk up to Terry and say, but it's all very well. Thank you for providing us with some transport here. I'm more interested in where we're going. What information do you have for us?
Yeah. So Terry, he hands you a map. It's like mostly hand sketched, kind of like it was traced off of a larger map. And he gives you some verbal directions to, head west, follow this general path. I wouldn't recommend going here because, we've had issues with highwaymen here, or like the road. It looks like the road's good here, but like don't trust it. So he gives you the directions to get to where you're going.
So
Alright.
Terry, between you and me, this golden boy, is he trustworthy? Is he gonna lay things, pave the way for us a little bit, or are we going in blind here?
So Terry, he thinks for a minute, and then he says, the golden boy that left is someone I would trust, but there's no saying whether or not he's changed. I think he's
he could
good.
be a zombie by now, for all we know.
At that, he panics and leaves. He goes, no, it can't be. It's not real. It's not. Well, they are real, but not here. And he just kind of like, he starts to panic and hyperventilate a little bit. And he starts to back away. And he's like, you know where you're going. I think he's good as long as he's not a zombie, but he's not a zombie. I think. Anyways,
Bravo feels very bad after doing that. He knows that he's at fault here.
Bye, Terry.
All right.
Okay, with that, I think we head out, eh?
Yeah.
Open up the gates.
Yep. So we see this like a drone shot almost, where we started the cars and the gates creak open, and we see the two cars roll out, and we follow them for a bit before like lifting up and seeing the landscape as a whole, which is mostly just this green dot in a sea of browns as the landscape continues. And then we cut to black.
Ilknömäksi. Nämäksi. No, let's go here, it's heavy. Okay, well.